jab effectively, hard, the guy wouldn't have been able to come in because the guy was coming in because he wasn't worried about Canelo's jab. So he got more aggressive and he got brave. If he's not jabbing, he has no defense.
I really don't care how big Crawford is. If I'm Canelo, I feel disrespected. Coming up 2 weight classes, you haven't fought at 68. You don't know how your body's going to react.
He's got the heart, he's got the speed, the skills, and he's going to go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go for I'm picking Crawford too.
Mike Tyson voices serious concern for Canelo's future, warning that a loss to Terence Crawford could be devastating. He points out that in past fights, Canelo's lack of an effective jab has allowed opponents to build confidence and close the distance. Tyson advises Canelo to sharpen his jab this time, using it with accuracy and consistency to control the fight and prevent Crawford from gaining momentum.
For the jab, the guy's going to walk right in on him, like he did. Next fight, use the jab, different fight.
Veteran analyst Teddy Atlas acknowledges that Canelo Alvarez has faced a long list of elite opponents across multiple divisions, giving him one of boxing's strongest resumes. By contrast, Terence Crawford hasn't fought as many marquee names. Still, Atlas argues that greatness isn't just about a resume, it's about skill and adaptability. He believes Crawford's timing, angles, and ring control will allow him to neutralize Canelo's advantages. Atlas adds that Crawford's calm demeanor and ability to adjust mid-fight could be the difference against a champion as dangerous as Alvarez.
He's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good, really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class, can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has.
The stakes for Canelo Alvarez go far beyond a win or loss. Crawford is moving up 2 weight classes, which makes this matchup high risk. If Canelo loses, critics will say he couldn't beat a naturally smaller fighter despite having size, strength, and experience on his side. Such a result could damage his reputation and raise doubts about his pound-for-pound status. That's why the fight carries enormous risk for Canelo before the opening bell even rings.
I really don't care how big Crawford is. If I'm Canelo, I feel disrespected. Coming up 2 weight classes, you haven't fought at 68. You don't know how your body's going to react, and you just think, you're just going to come up and beat me. We seen it with Charlo, his videos, how he was looking, moving around the ring, and everybody thought, that might work, and we saw what happened come fight night. Crawford is a skillful guy, but who has he really beaten? Spence. After Spence, now all of a sudden he can jump up 2 weight classes and beat Canelo. I don't see it. If I'm Canelo, I would have to make a statement with Crawford. Canelo cannot lose this fight. He shouldn't lose this.
David Benavidez praises Terence Crawford as a fighter on another level of technical skill and mental sharpness. He highlights Crawford's ability to switch stances, remain composed under pressure, and dictate the pace regardless of his opponent's style. Benavidez believes Crawford's true edge lies in his fight IQ, which allows him to break down even the most seasoned opponents over time.
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Earl Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make one.
Jeff Mayweather points to Crawford's exceptional technical skill, his ability to read opponents and adjust strategies with surgical precision. Still, he cautions that Canelo's power and experience cannot be ignored. Time and again, Canelo has shown he can change a fight with one perfectly timed punch. Jeff warns that underestimating Canelo's ability to adapt could be a costly mistake for Crawford or anyone facing him.
It's kind of tough, but if anybody can do it, I think it would be Terence Crawford. I mean, skill-wise, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win.
Max Kellerman zeroes in on the jab as the key factor. He notes that Crawford's jab is among the sharpest in boxing today, controlling range, setting up combinations, and breaking rhythm. By comparison, Canelo's jab once played a vital role in neutralizing aggressive opponents, but in recent years it has become inconsistent. Kellerman warns that if Canelo doesn't bring back his jab, Crawford's disciplined lead hand could dominate.
I'll give you a list of attributes, and then tell me who do you feel is best in that attribute. First attribute, best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
Who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring.
Gary Antoine Russell highlights the cultural and stylistic clash. He explains that Canelo represents the traditional Mexican style, measured pressure, body shots, and counterpunching. Crawford, in contrast, embodies the rhythm, fluidity, and defensive awareness often seen in African-American boxing. Russell believes this clash of styles will create a fascinating battle as each man tries to impose his rhythm on the other.
Canelo, he has mastered his style. Now, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, you know, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford, cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, you know. He go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, you know, and I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like not 12-round shape. I'm talking about like 16-round shape.
Trainer Robert Garcia openly backs Terence Crawford in this matchup. Garcia praises Crawford's discipline, work ethic, and mastery of fundamentals, saying his success is great for boxing because it proves the value of technical excellence and ring intelligence. While Garcia respects Canelo's accomplishments, he admits he's rooting for Crawford to win.
I love Crawford. He knows that. I've seen him. I've talked to him many times, and I wish him the best. I'm actually very happy for him and Bomac for everything they've done and the big fight that they're getting. You know, in this sport, making it to those fights and making it to those paydays, you got to be happy for anybody that makes it there. So Bomac knows, Crawford knows. Now I'm actually, after Canelo's performance, I'm actually leaning towards Crawford to win this fight.
Why is that? What changed?
Because I know Crawford, he's got the heart, he's got the speed, the skills, and he's going to go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go for Crawford will get, I'm picking Crawford to win.
Omari Jones admires Crawford's smart preparation for moving up in weight. Instead of rushing to bulk up, Crawford carefully added muscle through a focused program of nutrition and conditioning. This approach helps him keep his trademark speed and stamina while adding durability for a bigger opponent like Canelo. Jones believes this method gives Crawford the best chance of success without losing his natural strengths.
Me personally, meeting Crawford several times, it's like the man is just so competitive. It's like I don't even have to say nothing to him. He'll just like, man, when we sparring, it's like his competitiveness is always gonna put him over the edge, and then he just has that, like, I'm not gonna let you bully me, or his skill set. And it, I know they talk about Charlo when Charlo moved up, but I feel like it may be a little bit different for Canelo this time around, because Crawford took the moving up in weight classes serious. He did the dieting, he did the training. So I feel like when you put in work like that, it's a win-win.
So you don't think Crawford, gaining that weight, because I saw him, he's pretty big. You don't think that's going to be a disadvantage for him in this fight?
No, it looked like he put it on the right way. The nutrition, the like I said, the training. Crawford, he trains hard, so I feel like, I know they say he probably went up to like 185, so he has to lose that weight. But I think if he did it the right way, which I know he did, he'll be successful in September.
And I know, like we discussed earlier, we talked with your pro debut, and now you're 3-0. Your last fight, July 19th against Blanco, and it was actually your third win by knockout.
Yes.
Super proud of you. How are you feeling about your pro career so far?
I'm feeling great about my pro career. I definitely feel like it's off.
Paulie Nalignaggi agrees, noting Crawford's balance in training. He points out that Crawford built enough muscle to handle Canelo's power, but not at the expense of quickness or mobility. Nalignaggi credits this to Crawford's disciplined camp and attention to detail, from diet to sparring. He suggests this preparation could be the factor that allows Crawford to impose his style against Canelo.
Wait, what's your thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, Roy Jones is Roy Jones, but also Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford. But John Ruiz is not Canelo Alvarez. So that's another aspect of that comparison. And yes, exactly what the champ said, exactly what Abel Sanchez said, you're going to put on weight, you're going to be a different fighter. And I can say this even as a fighter as myself, as I've gotten heavier in my retirement, I try and move around the gym, it just feels different. And even when you start camp, you feel different in the beginning than you do at the end. But listen, we're still 4 or 5 weeks away. I don't know exactly what Terence is weighing right now. And even if he does say what he weighs, man, he's gone out there and said he's weighed, all types of crazy numbers just to get media to respond. So it's really not really going to know until the fight. We see these guys next to each other. He might look bigger right now, but he might not be that heavy. He might still be in the range that these guys are targeting for the fight.
Trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards focuses on Crawford's movement. He says Crawford's mastery of distance forces opponents into bad positions, making them miss and opening them up to counters. Combined with elite conditioning, this allows Crawford to sustain a fast pace across 12 rounds. Edwards believes Crawford's movement will be crucial in stopping Canelo from cutting off the ring, while his mental toughness ensures he won't break under pressure.
Really good. But Crawford is just so clutch. His conditioning is so good. They're going to be about similar heights. Crawford's a little taller, he's longer. And I think that Crawford's adjustments in fights are so underrated. He is a master adjuster. He finds something in every fight and just goes with it. That last fight, people talk about he struggled. You know what he found that last fight? A simple jab. He just started beating the guy up with a jab. He finds something in every fight. And he don't fight a lazy fight. Canelo, for as good as he is, he hasn't stopped anybody since 2021. That's 4 years. You know why? Because he gets a little tired and he gets like a little bit complacent. He's a power puncher. Anybody that punched that hard don't want to go 4 years without a stoppage. He haven't got a stoppage because he don't have the conditioning and the stamina to push a guy over the edge after he hurt him, or after, when the guy's running away from him, to still be able to go get him. He don't want to go the distance in all these fights. You think he wants to go the distance with Jamel Charlo and John Ryder and Edgar Berlanga and Triple G at 68? He don't want to. but he don't have that extra gear anymore, in my opinion, to get guys.
Canelo Alvarez's recent fight with William Skull raised concerns. His output was unusually low, his movement lacked urgency, and instead of dictating the action, he often reacted. This performance left fans questioning whether Canelo still has the stamina and sharpness to dominate elite opponents for 12 rounds. Analysts warn that if these flaws continue, Crawford has the tools to exploit them.
And after really the Triple G fight is when we've seen the slippage on Canelo. And over the last 2 years, it's been immediately apparent. It's been apparent straight away over the last 2 years. Canelo's feet have always been slow. He's always been very slow-footed. So when people are saying, oh, it looks like his legs are slowing down, yeah, they are. They've never been quick, but now they're even slower, which is a problem. And Jim Lampley on commentary on Friday Night Show was saying that one of Canelo's biggest strengths is his legs. It generates power and it helps with his punch resistance. Well, those legs are sliding and that power is diminishing. Canelo hasn't had a stoppage win now since he knocked out Caleb Plant in 2021. And yeah, he's dropped some of these guys, but he's not been able to step on the gas and finish them. He's not been able to go through the gears. His gas tank, you can put that into question as well. And Canelo Alvarez, come July, be 35 years old. So he is, look, Canelo's been around so long and his real prime was in his mid-20s. So we associate Canelo, mid-20s to early 30s. So we kind of associate Canelo with that. I don't want to say ever young, but you know, he is still young, just not in boxing senses. But he's been around so long, 20 years a pro, and he's been at world levels for probably 15 of those. You're going to expect some slippage. And I think in this fight, an opponent, it was very negative, yes, but an opponent who Canelo Alvarez of 5 years ago would have handled, and he did handle him, but you know what I mean, he probably would have put some damage on William Skull.
Sean Porter stresses that for Crawford to win, his game plan must revolve around distance and angles. By constantly moving and forcing Canelo to reset, Crawford can slow down Canelo's pressure and wear him out mentally and physically. Porter adds that mental discipline will be just as important as physical skill. In the end, the fighter who remains calm, focused, and consistent from start to finish is likely to win.
Yes. So, I haven't seen that Terence Crawford against Canelo in these two press conferences. They're having dinner, they have the presser in Riyadh, they have the presser in New York. That's a weak-ass push by Canelo. And, you know, that is not Canelo, what he did with Caleb Plant, that was real. You know, he slipped him and then slapped him, and that was like, okay. This felt like, hey, social media saying you guys are being too friendly. We're paying you all this money. We're putting the knockout bonus there. Come on, we got a fight to sell. Let's heat this up a little bit. Obviously, they're both great fighters, and they're both coming to win, and you know, but you know, I don't want to get too deep into it today, but you know my thoughts on this, the big picture, like what's looming, the fight to me, because I'm the journalist, right, is an afterthought.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more. Until next time.